Hi, I'm Thomas Voelp. I'm a pastor over at Trinity Lutheran Church in Santa Barbara, California. And I'm pleased to introduce today's work on Christ on the Cross by Boetius Adamsz Bolswert. When I first looked at the print, what caught my eye is how much action and how much anguish is going on in the print. We've got all this anguish and pain just circulating around the central figure of Christ here. The women crying here in absolute turmoil and just grief-stricken. Even one here is trying to stop the Roman soldier from sticking the spear into Jesus' side. We've got the guy here that is just so overcome with the moment that he is just looking to heaven for some sort of peace or respite, something to take him out of this. We've got this guy here that is so determined to get away from the man who's going to break his legs that he's pulled himself off the cross. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of gore and violence going on here. But in the center, we have Christ, who is fairly clearly dead. But the thing about him here that despite him being dead, despite all this anguish, it's this one moment of serenity. It's this quiet dignity in the middle of this piece. Standing in sort of this way that amid all the pain, all the chaos that's going on around him, this one act of nothingness, no motion, stops our eye and holds my eye to think about all the different things that God might create in this moment and how we can interpret this and how we can see this as a piece even of Scripture. I think of the fact that in my studies we look at history where people didn't read, and so image was so important. And so in the images that were produced, we have theology being taught and the story from the Bible being taught here. The idea of the breaking of the legs, the idea of the one who might be the one that asked for Jesus to remember him when he came into his kingdom. We have the sticking of the spear. But what it's teaching to me, most importantly, is that amid all the chaos of this world, there is Christ, there is God, to stand in the midst of all of this in a quiet dignity, not rejecting any of it, but to be part of it and to accept it for what it is. All the rest of these people aren't quite sure what is happening here. They don't know what the meaning of the cross is yet. They haven't had the resurrection. They haven't had this moment where they say, okay, this was necessary. I can accept this. It's a shock. It's unpleasant. And yet, even as I'm speaking of this, I'm thinking about all the different things we're worried about in this time and place and in this time in our world, and thinking about amid all the chaos and the questions and the not sure where we're goings and all those things, we have God right in the center. We have a God that will walk with us and stay with us throughout all of this chaos and to say, this is what the world is. But don't reject it and walk with me. Be sure that I will stay here, even in the most gruesome moment.